everybody, and welcome to the second episode of What If Midoriya Was an Evo. If you haven't seen the first episode because it has been quite some time, or you just want a refresher because of that reason, there'll be a link in the description below. I would like to thank all of you for the support you guys gave the first part of this series. If you want to see more, let me know by either hitting that like button or by telling me in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, please let me know either in the comments below or in my Discord, link in the description below. Actually, more probable that I'll listen to in the Discord, and I actually asked you guys questions, so go check it out. There aren't that many people there, actually. And with that out of the way, let's get started. In the previous episode, we saw how Midoriya's nanite quirk influenced him growing up, getting him to give up on his dreams. But after meeting All Might, he is inspired again and starts training, managing to get into UA and even passing his hour's quirk assessment test. After all that, the next day of school quickly arrives. The students go through their regular class routines, and after lunch, All Might jumps into the class and saying, "I am here, coming in through the door like a hero." The class is a bit surprised to see him, and Kirishima says, "Holy crap, it's All Might!" Kirishima then says, "So he really is a teacher this year. This year's gonna be awesome." Tsu says, "Hey look, he's wearing his Silver Age costume." And they continue to mutter in the background. All Might gets on the podium and says, "Welcome to the most important class at UA High. Think of it as Heroing 101. Here you will learn the basics of being a pro and what it means to fight in the name of good. Let's get into it. Today's lesson will pull no punches!" As he holds a sign that says battle, Bakugou gets really excited as he says fight training with a huge grin on his face. Midoriya says, "Are we sure it's smart to start with Ready? I mean, it's only the second day." All Might says, "Don't worry about it. One thing all of you need to keep in mind is that one of the keys of being a hero is looking good." So he pushes a button and the wall opens up, revealing some cases that hold the students' super suits. All Might continues speaking, "These were designed for you based on your quirk registration forms and the requests you sent in before school started. Get yourself suited up and then meet me at Training Ground Beta." A bit later at Training Ground Beta, All Might waits in front of the gate as the students start going through it, wearing their new costumes. In this version, Midoriya is wearing something very close to his regular costume. It just has a couple of minor alterations, like for example, he carries around a couple EMP devices, which are made in case he goes out of control to disrupt his nanites and machines in case he goes out of control. Remember, he's still afraid of his quirk. Otherwise, the suit is pretty. The students come out of the gate and All Might goes into a bit of a rant about their uniforms, ending it by saying, "They say clothes make the pros, young ladies and gentlemen, and behold, you are the proof. Take this to heart. From now on, you are all heroes in training. You're getting me all ramped up. You look so cool. Now, shall we get started, you bunch of newbies?" When Midoriya comes out of the tunnel, he is greeted by Uraraka, who says, "Love your costume, Midoriya. It's not too flashy, you know. I should have been more specific with what I wanted." Midoriya just says, "I love this school," while giving a thumbs up. Midoriya says, "Thanks, but your costume looks awesome too." All Might says, "Now that you are ready, it's time for combat training." Iida raises his hand and asks, "Sir, this is the fake Iida from our entrance exam. Does that mean we will be conducting urban battles again?" All Might answers, "Not quite. I'm going to move you 2 steps ahead. Most of the villain fights you see on the news take place outside. However, statistically speaking, running with the most dastardly evildoers takes place indoors. Think about it. Backroom deals, home invasions, secret underground layers. Truly intelligent villains stay hidden in the shadows. For this training exercise, you will be split into teams of good guys and bad guys and fight 2-on-2 indoor battles." Asui asks, "Isn't that a little advanced?" All Might responds, "The best training is what you get on the battlefield. But remember, you can't just punch a robot this time. You're dealing with actual people now." Yaoyorozu asks, "Sir, will you be the one deciding who wins?" Bakugou asks, "How much can we hurt the other team?" Uraraka asks, Do we need to worry about the loser getting expelled like Yama asks? Will you be splitting us up by chance or by other criteria? And Oyama asks, is this cape très chic? All Might says, I wasn't finished talking. He then grabs his scripts and starts explaining the exercise. Same exercises in the main continuity. Lots are drawn in. Midoriya and Uraraka are the first heroes up against Bakugou and Iida, who are playing the villains. Before the exercise starts, All Might gives the villain group some advice and tells them that if things get out of hand, he will intervene, and that they can start going inside and have 5 minutes to prepare. Inside the building, Bakugou and Iida get to the weapon. Iida, walking towards it, says, even as an exercise, it pains me to be aligned with criminal behavior. So this is the fake weapon. Fake, of course. Bakugou says, hey, Four Eyes, careful with with Midoriya. Iida asks, why? Bakugou says, if he loses control of his quirk, things are seriously going to go down. You barely have been preparing for a long time. Outside, Uraraka asks, do you really think they expect us to memorize the building floor plan? It's so big. You know, All Might is just as cool in person as he is on TV. I'm glad he isn't threatening us with some sort of punishment like Mr. Aizawa. Midoriya says, yeah, All Might's awesome. And not having to worry about being expelled is great, but we should probably worry about the enemy. Bakugou is pretty powerful and Iida has a speed in terms of speed. Uraraka looks at Midoriya determined and says, let's win this. Midoriya says, right, but we should discuss strategy. Uraraka asks, what do you have in mind? He then explains his plan to Uraraka. 2 minutes later, the exercise starts. They try to open the door and realize it's locked. Midoriya thinks for a moment and thinks what to do. He mumbles, I could smash the door, but seeing as this is a stealth mission, that would attract attention, too much attention to us. Uraraka then spots an open window and says, up there. Midoriya makes the smack hands and asks, are you ready? Uraraka nods, and Midoriya then uses the smack hands, grabbing Uraraka and having her reach the window. She enters the building. Uraraka then lowers a rope and helps Midoriya in. Once they're in, she says, and just like that, we're in. Midoriya says, okay, now let's get going. Don't forget to watch out for blind spots. They keep making their way through the building, watching their backs and checking for blind spots. They reach an intersection. Bakugou jumps off the corner, shooting an explosion at Midoriya. Midoriya quickly reacts and makes the smack hands in order to block the attack, with a huge smoke stream being created. Midoriya asks, you okay, Uraraka? Uraraka answers, yes. Iida then rushes out of the smoke stream and says, you won't stop us, you hero. We will reign over this world. Uraraka, hearing Iida speak like that, laughs, and Iida turns to her and asks, what's so funny, you hero? He rushes at her, but before he can reach her, Midoriya extends the smack hands, grabbing Iida and throwing him towards Bakugou. Iida makes Bakugou hit the wall. Bakugou shouts, get off me, Four Eyes! Midoriya turns to Uraraka and says, let's go. Both of them start running, looking for the weapon. While Uraraka runs, she asks, why don't you make your bike construction? It will go a lot faster. Midoriya answers, there isn't much room in here to maneuver in, so I'll just end up crashing. Iida and Bakugou run behind them, trying to catch up. Hearing Bakugou's explosion, Midoriya turns around to make a blockade, building the punk busters in order to fight. Midoriya says, Uraraka, you keep going, find the weapon, I'll keep them busy. Uraraka nods and keeps going. Midoriya takes a stand when Iida rushes him back, and disassembles the punk busters, building the smack hands instead, as he's more used to fighting with this build. Bakugou reaches Midoriya and Iida, jumping at Midoriya with an explosion. Midoriya blocks it with one hand and punches Bakugou with the other. Bakugou looks around and asks, where's the girl? Midoriya says, you won't get to her. Iida says, and who is going to stop us, you little hero? Bakugou's gauntlets then glow, signaling that they are charged. Bakugou says, finally! You know, with all that running you had us do, I'm surprised it took this much for them to charge. Midoriya asks, what are you talking about? Bakugou says, knowing you, you probably already know that my quirk works based off my sweat. Well, these gauntlets are built to accumulate that sweat to make it for a bigger explosion. From the monitoring room, All Might shouts, Bakugou, no, you'll kill him. Bakugou says, I doubt it, as he pulls the pin and one of the gauntlets on one of the huge explosion at Midoriya. Midoriya manages to dodge, but his build was caught in the explosion and was destroyed by it, causing some pain on Midoriya. Iida rushes in, trying to get past Midoriya, passing pretty close to his body. Before he can get past Midoriya, however, Midoriya rebuilds the smack hand, sending him back. Midoriya says, I won't let you pass. Iida says, you fell right into our trap. He opens his hand, revealing that he took 2 EMP grenades. Midoriya looks at his belt and says, what the? Iida says, you foolish hero, we foresaw you not letting us pass, and with the inside knowledge that my companion has, we came up with a strategy to defeat you. Iida activates the device, throwing it at Midoriya. The smack hands just fall apart and Midoriya can't seem to conjure up anything new. Bakugou jumps in, throwing an explosion at Midoriya, making him trip. Bakugou pins him to the ground and Iida runs in using the capture tape on Midoriya. Iida starts to laugh and says, we bested you, hero. Bakugou says, shut up, you four eyes, and go get the girl. Iida says, right, and rushes off. He captures Uraraka moments from her getting the weapon. All Might shouts, the villain team wins! After that, Bakugou is given the MVP title for strategizing and battle prowess. Midoriya and Uraraka spend the rest of the matches observing their companions as none of them ended in the infirmary. After a while, Uraraka asks, are you okay? Midoriya says, just fine. They just used an electromagnetic pulse against me. It temporarily disables my quirk. I'm fine now. Midoriya makes a small version of the smack hands to show Uraraka that everything's fine. Uraraka asks, why do you carry those around? And Midoriya explains the situation. Anyway, that's where I'm leaving it off for today. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, and whether hitting that like button or by telling me in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, tell me in the comments below in my Discord. And that's it for me for today, everyone. Until next time, have an absolutely fantastic day. Bye!